Okay, so I wanted to go over the CKG. It's a GC-2003C pinpointer. So as you can see, here's the retail packaging. It says accurate, compact, waterproof metal detector for treasure hunting. That's what I'm talking about. Shows the part number on it, GC-2003. It takes one 9-volt battery, IP68 waterproof, omnidirectional, 3 detection modes, fully waterproof, flashing nightlight, and inactive alarm. So let's get to the unboxing. Okay, so it comes with a instruction manual, and I'll refer to this during the video. And it talks about everything that it does and how to do it, and we'll go over that. So let's see. Comes with the battery. All right, that's all we got in the package there. We got a cord. Perfect. You can never have enough of those. A 9-volt battery. And the actual unit itself with a sheath. It's got the hook and loop. Little snap, keep it secure on whatever belt you're putting it on, and it looks like it goes in there either way. Pretty snug, and of course you'll have this in case it comes loose. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is put the battery in. One thing I want you to notice, and I don't know yet, and we'll do this in the field test, but if you look on the box, it has this fin, where my thumb is here. It has a fin, and if you notice, it's pointing down. This is pointing down. I'm kind of interested in that, and I don't want to jump ahead, but the way I hold things, I'm not going to be able to see the LCD screen if I hold it with my right hand. So that means you're going to have to detect with it with your left hand if you want to use the sensitivity meter, which we'll go over here in a minute. All right, so to put the battery in, it's a twist. It seems like it's a push down and twist. It does have a pad down inside here. Looks like your battery box. And we'll have to figure out which way it goes in. The instructions does not say. All it says is if your battery doesn't work, take it out and rotate it. And if you can see in there, there's this contacts. So give me a second, let me look and see if there's anything on the inside. All right, I don't see anything offhand, but we got our 9-volt battery here. So we're just going to try it one way. So we're going to try it with the, well, I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to try it with the positive down. Oh, here, let's hold it the other way. Since this is the front of it, it's gonna take me getting some use. It's going to take me getting used to that whole scenario. All right, so we're gonna put the 9-volt on the side. There's upside down, and the negative is on the top. Oh. Well, that's interesting. That could be. All right, like I said, we're going to put the negative on top. See what happens. We got nothing. All right, so the positive should be up. It is kind of hard. You're going to have to really watch it. Okay, so I got it closed, and I went and got a flashlight, and I looked down inside of there. When you have the cap off to change the battery, and it showed next to the contacts, if you look down inside of there, next to the contacts, it shows plus and minus. So I lined those up. All right, so we're going to turn it on. It says hold the button for 2 seconds. And it said the first time that it comes on, that it's going to be on sound and vibrate. So I think we can see it right there. Sound, vibration. Let's see what we got. Okay, when you're like right on it. Now the one thing I wanted to know was the bottom. Okay, and then let's try. See, I'll hold it the other way so we can see the screen. And I'm going to hold it where the fin is up. Doesn't seem as sensitive. Could be wrong. Let's see. No, it's about the same. Yeah, what I was trying to do here was I was trying to see if, you know, sometimes I use it like this for large searching. And then, you know, sometimes I'm doing like this inside the hole. So, anyway, let's see. So let's change this stuff. All right, so that's just vibration. I can feel it. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the light. And then let's change it just to no vibration and just sound. Okay. And then I don't know. I'm sure it uses the most battery, but I think I like, which is personal preference, I like the vibration and the noise, because if you guys notice on all my videos, you know, literally I have to block out some of the wind noise at the beach. So it's louder than you guys hear watching my videos. All right, so first impressions. I don't like, let's go ahead and turn this off. So it says hold it for 2 seconds, and that turns it off. One thing I do want to mention is this thing supposedly turns itself off after, you know, it's not around any metal for X amount of time. I think it is I was trying to see if the instructions tell us low battery, memory. I was trying, there's a thing on here that says, oh, if no key press or no target being detected within 5 minutes, the pinpointer will power off automatically. Okay, so I have to say, as long as you don't have any metal, okay, close to that it will detect on your bag, close to where you carry this at, you know, that's a huge thing for me, because you wouldn't believe how many batteries I've wasted by thinking I turned my pinpointer off and then I didn't turn it off. Okay. But a con, okay, I don't like 9-volt batteries. I don't think they last very long. I don't like carrying extra batteries. So, you know, I'd rather carry whatever. Now, the one thing I wanted to show you is, look how hard it is to get that off of there. Okay. We're going to go over this again. You know, there's lock, whatever, you know, we're going to go over this again, because I mean, off camera, I had to literally force this thing shut. Okay. All right. So one other thing is, there's a little flashlight inside there. I don't know if you can see it right there. And here's something that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering what these little points are, or these little valleys are right here. Okay. Because what it looks like to me is you could get a sheath for this thing. Okay. That would slide in there. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I could probably even 3D print one that would do that. And just slide in there and just stay on there. And it could be, you know, made of some kind of material where you can still detect with it on there, and you can dig with it and it doesn't wear this out. Okay, so the other initial thing I was thinking about on it, I really am kind of wondering how waterproof this thing is, because you can see that it's made, I don't know if it's injected molded or 3D printed, but there's several seams on it. I don't know if that's from the mold or it's pressed together. Okay, you can see the line going across there. The one I'm talking about right there is, I mean, I can feel a difference where it doesn't line up 100%. Now, it's a very small amount, but my point is that going to crack if I'm constantly digging in the sand, abrasing it, right? Literally sanding it off. Okay. Because, you know, sand is abrasive, and after time, you know, it's going to wear stuff down, and, you know, wearing a hole in there probably wouldn't hurt the electronics, but getting it wet would. So, here in the end too, I'm going to go over this whole situation here, and this being waterproof. It says it is waterproof to 3 meters underwater. It says exactly, waterproof. Sealed design allows hunting in the rain or up to 3 meters underwater. So here's the first look at it. This is kind of grippy stuff. This is, the black is all hard plastic. The blue is grippy, you know. So they look like it, they made it where, you know, your hands would wrap like that. So anyway, we're going to do a field test on this. I'm going to take this out to the beach, and we're going to put this up against my current pinpointer, which I don't think is all that great. I've had a lot of problems with it, but it's lasted this whole time. It's lasted, oh, I don't know, I've probably had that thing close to 4 years now. So anyway, we'll take this out and we'll check it out and give it a quick run through, and we'll go from there. We've got it on it's on sound and vibrate. What do we have here? This is super small. I keep hitting it with both. I don't know what that is. It's like a piece of copper. Comes up as 21, so it's not copper. I'm wondering if that's like a leftover from somebody's ring. I don't know what we got here. Oh! Something big. Oh yeah. It's huge, whatever it is. Piece of steel or something. I'm gonna dig it up and then we'll come back on. Okay, so let's wrap this up and I'll tell you what I think about this product overall, and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to put this up on the screen, but I found one thing out about this. This was put on here for digging. Okay. So you'll see it on the next screen. I just want to mention that after using it, all I did was I rinsed it off after I got back home, like I do all my gear. And I mean, that's what it looks like after just rinsing it off. I didn't scrub it or anything. It is, you know, it did get some scratches, but, you know, that doesn't affect anything. So, I mean, it came with everything necessary that you need to get going, except for, you know, a belt that you're going to carry it on. And actually, you could throw this thing in your pocket if you didn't have a belt. But, you know, this is not anything to this brand or product. But I'll tell you what, in Florida, especially if you get them wet with, you know, ocean water, man, you can see all the sand that was coming out of there. Anyway, these things rust, and they will just be stuck closed, and then to get them loose, either what'll happen is they'll rip through this fabric, or it'll just break that off right there, and it'll be stuck inside of that one. But, you know, I mean, I don't know any better solutions, any corrosive stuff that's cost effective or whatever. Again, this thing, you know, it fits in here however you want it to fit. I mean, I didn't have any problem putting it in any position. You know, it pretty much just went in there how it... I guess if I had a suggestion, I would, when I holster it per se, I wouldn't put it any farther than the buttons, just in case you turn it on or something like that. I mean, but I really wouldn't even worry about it. I wasn't worrying about it all day, and I had it like that. So, you know, the other thing too, hey, it comes with, you know, a free bungee cord. The ones that I use are definitely longer, right? That's not long enough for me. So, you know, but hey, to get you going and getting out there, bam, you just put this on and away you go. So I've got more stashed away. I just need to put them on here. You know, I actually liked the screen, okay, over my non-screen model is the one thing that I liked about this actually the best, right? And the ease of, you know, changing the programs because they have a visual on the screen. So, you know, it also shows you the your battery life right there too. Again, we found out this was just basically a scraping tool, right? You know, it worked just as good as a $150 one. So, you know, I mean, the good and bad to this is, the one thing that I like the best about it is the inactive alarm, as they call it. So, you know, X amount of minutes, within 5 minutes, it'll turn itself off. So, you know, there are comparable ones out there to this exact model. They all, from what I've seen, they just have different battery caps. The one thing I never showed on this, I mentioned, or let's see if I can get it off right away. Okay, it's getting better. I think if that's 3D printed or whatever, it was just a little tight. But anyway, it's got an O-ring right here, and it's not actually an O-ring, whatever the square type rings are, like an O-ring. But that's, you know, I mean, that's other than it being sealed the whole way around. I mean, that's going to be its waterproof claim to fame right there. So you always want to pay attention to that to make sure that that thing's good to go. But anyway, overall, whoops. See, the cap, I don't understand the cap at all. Right? It's not intuitive when it comes to this whole thing, the battery position, etc. I think the battery position could be a little clearer somewhere when you take the cap off. You know, even if it was stamped somewhere in there, who knows, right? Like I said, I actually liked it. The flashlight part, I will say mine is better than this. So at night, I mean, you could really actually use it. You can't use it to film, but I could use it to find something if I had to. So, you know, overall, would I buy this? Yeah. I'm glad that I tried it. I would have to say, you know, if you're looking for a pinpointer, this is definitely an option. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever, you know, other than getting the cap on and figuring out the battery. Otherwise, this thing worked flawlessly today. I put it through the test of finding really small stuff. We showed it waterproof this way, and waterproof completely underneath the water. As I washed it off to put it back away. But I'm going to continue using this, and you know, I've got a feeling I really want to find out the whole battery life thing. Okay, and it says after a day of going, I mean, it was literally a day. It's still saying I have a full tank on the battery. So hopefully that focuses on that. It never does. But the little indicators right there on the left-hand side of the 3 indicators. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to throw this on my belt, and I'm going to keep this thing going in the next few hunts, and we'll see how it goes.